Hi everyone, my name's Caitlin, or Katie, depending on who you are. I thought I'd start a YouTube channel because there was so much demand for it. No, I'm just kidding. But I know who you are. But yeah, I love to cook, I love to bake, so I thought it would be a really good opportunity in lockdown to bake and then hopefully get other people baking the same things if they taste good. If they don't, I'll share it with you as well. But yeah, so let me comment down below if there's anything you want me to bake, what you liked about the video, what you didn't like about the video, if I waffle on too much, because I'm known to do that. Just let me know and I shall try and keep it succinct, short and sweet, you know. So, anyway, moving on. Today, we're going to be making a Norfolk vinegar cake, because I thought it would be really cool to try and bake the but the county dish of each county in England. It'd be a really cool idea. So today, we're in Norfolk, we're making a vinegar cake. It's not as gross as it sounds. I promise. I had the same look of apprehension and confusion on my face when I first heard it. So anyway, let's get into it. So first of all, you're going to need 230 grams of flour into a biggish bowl. Then from there, you're going to need, how much? 230 grams of butter to 450 grams of flour. Forgive me. You're going to add that in. And now what you're doing here is you're rubbing the butter into the flour. And you're doing that because if you think about it, flour is a wheat usually, and it's got quite long fibrous, molecules and things. I'm not a scientist, but it's very fibrous essentially. And what you're doing when you're adding the shortening, aka butter, oil works as well, is you're breaking down those fibrous molecules and attaching them to a fat molecule. And then when you bake that, you're going to get a flakier pastry or flakier, end product. And if you didn't do that, what would actually happen is you would have a very gluttonous kind of blob because you haven't broken down those fibrous flours. And of course, in cakes and things, you don't do that because it doesn't really matter because you have eggs and things. But another kind of interesting fact about this cake is that it's actually has no eggs in it because, back in the day, it would have been made when the eggs were off, when the hens were off lay, which meant that they weren't laying any eggs. So it doesn't have any eggs in it, so great if you're a vegan as well to make the recipe. Probably not great if you're going gluten-free because it's got 450 grams of flour. But anyway, so back to rubbing in the butter into the flour. So basically what you're aiming for is you're wanting to bring it up and like that. You're making coarse breadcrumbs, in other words. So first start by kind of mixing it in a little bit. You want cold butter, generally. Not frigid, but not room temperature either. So then from there, start rubbing it in. You're going to get coarse breadcrumbs. That's what you're aiming. You're breaking down those fibrous things, surrounding them with a fat molecule, as I mentioned. Shouldn't take too long, generally, depending on the temperature of your butter. To have flour, perhaps. But, this is just plain flour as well. Nothing fancy going on here. So, that's what you're aiming for. Coarse breadcrumbs. What you don't want is to have chunks of butter in your flour, because then when that bakes, you're going to get quite an uneven bake. Let me wash my hands. How's it? I'm back. Clean hands. Always wash your hands, guys, especially now. But so we've got some. You can't really see that. It just looks like golden goodness, essentially. So, you got your fine breadcrumbs, coarse breadcrumbs, just make sure it's incorporated. Then what you're going to do is you're going to add your sultanas and your raisins. So you're adding 230 grams of sultanas and 230 grams of raisins straight into your mixture there. Get this going. Currants. I'm using currants. I couldn't find raisins, I'll be honest. So 230 grams of those as well. You're getting some sugar. It's not shy on the sugar, I'll be honest, but no fruit cake generally is shy on the sugar, but you don't want it to be overly sweet either. But we're going to see. So this is 230 grams of just a brown, coarse sugar for now. You could use caster sugar, plain sugar, anything really. Get a spoon, and you're going to just give that a quick mix, get it incorporated so that you don't have huge pockets of sugar or huge pockets of currants or anything like that. Yeah, so as I said, you can substitute raisins for currants, make cranberries if you like as well, depending whatever dried fruit that's similar to a raisin you like. I mean, I'm sure you know that. Just giving this a mix quickly. Okay, so set that aside. Then, what you're going to want is you're going to want 240 milliliters of milk. You can use semi-skim, full fat, doesn't matter. There is an argument on the internet between the differences between the semi-skim milk in baking and full fat, but honestly, I don't notice that much difference in mine, but alas, there is the argument there. So, then what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 tablespoon of milk and 1 tablespoon of bicarbonate of soda. And you're going to put that into your little bit of milk, like so, giving it a mix. And this is just taking out the harshness from the bicarb, because I mean it's a chemical essentially. You just want to make it less harsh on your ingredients. So then into your 240 milliliters of milk, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar. So here's where your cider element of it comes in. But it's only 2 tablespoons, you're not going to taste it. Let's be realistic, right? Okay, so, and it goes, boom. Then you're going to stir in this kind of mixture you've created. It's going to fizz a little bit, that's just the chemical reaction that's taking place between the milk and the bicarb. I don't know the scientifics, again, don't take science, but I'm sure there is a reason. Let me know if you'd like, or don't. Blah, blah, blah. So you're going to add this to your cake mixture. Pretty self-explanatory. You can hear it frothing, that's quite cool. Anyway, my arm is now dead. So you know, that's the secret, guys. Do recipes that require a lot of mixing and stirring and kneading, because then you're burning off the calories you're going to eat later when you consume your final product. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Yeah, anyway, so I've mixed this up. It looks like that currently. You know, it's quite a stiff mixture, but what you don't want to do, of course, is overmix your batter, because then your cake comes out being quite tough. Yeah, anyway, so what you're going to do then is you're going to grease up a 20 centimeter pan, 9 inches if depending on where you're from. I've just lined the bottom with some parchment paper and sprayed that as well. Sprayed the sides really well. This is a spring release bottom pan. It just makes it easier to get out, but of course you don't need that. So then you're going to put your mixture. There we go. You're going to put that into your thing. Make sure you got out all the chunks of flour. Funny story, the other day I made a banana bread. And I'm eating it and I kind of get this taste of something pretty gross, and I look and there's a big globule of flour. Turns out that was present throughout the right, everyone. So I've put it in, use this for a gym. Anyway, I've put it in the pan. It's quite thick, like, ooh, nothing's moving. She's thick, let me just say that. But yeah, so what you want to do is just get as level as you can, and basically I've preheated the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Don't know what that is Fahrenheit, because who uses Fahrenheit? But anyway, 180 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. This is your quick bake, and then after half an hour, you're going to turn the oven down to 140 degrees and bake for another hour to an hour and 15 minutes, depending on your oven. Eating the batter raw is a sign of how good the cake is. That's how I take it. And I mean, it has to be done while sitting on the countertop. That's just the rules. I don't make them. I just follow them. I'm not a rebel, I'm telling you. But anyway, I did have something to say. If your cake's looking quite dark on top after the 30 minutes, just quickly take it out, pop a bit of foil on it to stop it getting any darker. Voila! There's our cake, folks. Okay guys, so it's done. This is not going to be one of the channels where I gloss over our failures. This has been cooking now, I want to say, for like 2.5 hours. Okay, not that long. 2 hours, 10 minutes about. But yeah, obviously you just stick a skewer in, see if it's cooked or not. And it's looking pretty good. It's golden colour, golden brown, and it rose. I'm going to try and quickly get it out. Because it is a springform pan, it does make it a bit easier. So like that, like so. Bring please work, please work, please work, please work. Please work, please work. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna let it cool down even more. Taste test here. Sorry if there's some noise in the background, the window's open. But anyway, so let's give it a go. I'm not a fan of fruitcake, I'll be honest, but it is pretty good. It's very fruity, but not too fruity at the same time. You know, you can see it through there. So yeah, make it if you'd like. If you don't, that's alright. So subscribe if you want to see any more videos. I'd really appreciate that. Like it. If you didn't like the video, keep it to yourself. No one needs the hate.